From the heart of Las Vegas, this is The Middle Ground, your destination for balanced conversations, real issues, and common sense solutions. Hosted by Tom Letizia, The Middle Ground starts now.
Good morning, Las Vegas, and welcome to the Middle Ground Radio Show. I'm Tom Letizia, and today I'm honored to host the Mayor of Las Vegas, Shelley Berkley, formerly a 7-term congresswoman and longtime advocate for veterans, consumer protection, and public service. Mayor Berkley assumed office on December 4, 2024, ending a quarter of a century of Goodman family leadership in the mayor's office. Today, we'll dive into her vision for Las Vegas, spanning innovation, safety, growth, and more. Mayor Berkley, good morning and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tom. I have to say that introduction really woke me up.
Well, and that's what we try to do. We try to wake everybody up because it's early in the morning.
It is.
And it takes a lot of coffee to get us going here at the studio, but we seem to manage. I appreciate you being here with us this morning, and I want to talk to you about your work in City Hall and what's ahead for Las Vegas. But first, I want to take a moment to reflect on your roots in this city. To start off, here's a question from our executive producer, Russell Letizia. Russell?
Good morning, Mayor, and welcome back.
Good morning, Russell.
Can you share with us your first vivid memory of Las Vegas, the feeling of the city when you first moved here as a little girl?
Yes, and this is a pretty common story, and I think your family has heard this a few times. But my father was a waiter when I was growing up in upstate New York. And in the early 60s, he was having a very hard time making a living. So one night, he put my sister and I and the dog in the back seat of our car, parents in the front seat. Everything we owned was in a U-Haul hooked up to the back bumper. Now, Russell, this is a long time ago. No air conditioning in the car, and it was summertime. Drove across country in the old Route 66. My dad had a letter of introduction to get a job as a waiter in Southern California. We get to Hoover Dam, and my parents, who I thought were so old at the time, they were 31 and 34, they wanted to see Las Vegas. We never knew if we'd be coming back east again. My sister and I didn't have to be in school because it was summertime, so we decided to stop in Vegas for the night. We never left. And one of these days we're going to unhook the, we're going to unpack the U-Haul. That's so old. Anyway, so what my most vivid memory, and I will never forget it as long as I live, I was 13 years old, is the first time we drove down the Las Vegas Strip. Now, I'm from upstate New York in a little town. When I thought I died and went to heaven. I never saw anything that beautiful. All of the neon and the signs flashing, and it was so exciting. And the incredible thing, Russell, is when now I've got 74-year-old eyes, drive down the same street, I get the same reaction every time I drive down the Strip. It is just a remarkable, remarkable street.
Yeah, and it's a fascinating story, and
it's a Vegas story.
It is. It's a true Vegas story.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody runs out of gas and has to stay here. Things like that.
Yeah, and a lot of people say that they come to Vegas, they think they're going to stay over for a couple months or whatever, and they end up living here their entire life.
Right, exactly.
So when you were growing up as a little girl here in Las Vegas, who were the characters back in those days that you can remember?
Oh, my goodness. Nobody listening to us is going to remember these names. But Las Vegas was it was just getting started, This was very early 60s. There were Joe Delaney.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember
Sure,
Joe?
Sure.
And Gus Gouffre.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they occupied the airwaves. Oh, my goodness gracious. There were a lot. Orrin Gregson was mayor at the time.
For a lot of years.
He was there, I think, either 12 or 16 years he was there, because that was before term limits.
Sure.
So when we got to town, Orrin Gregson was mayor, and Joe Delaney and Gus Gouffre kind of ruled the airwaves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there was a young guy up and coming, a man named Richard Bryant and Harry Reid, and all of these people made a tremendous impression on me when the town was very, very small. When we moved here, there were 80,000 people in the entire Las Vegas Vegas Valley, there's 2.6 million in the same geographic area.
Yeah.
I mean, the growth has been absolutely phenomenal.
Well, when my wife Marla moved here, there were 25,000 people. And when I moved here in 1971, there were only 250,000. So the valley has grown 10 times just in the time I've been here. So your parents came here. Your dad didn't have a job. What lessons or values instilled by your parents still guide your leadership as the mayor today?
Well, look, I come from a working family, so I just know how people live and what their challenges are. And so I think I'm far more empathetic because I've lived it. And we truly have lived the American dream. As you know, I'm second generation American. My grandparents came to America to escape the Holocaust. And so I'm obviously very sensitive to immigration. I'm sensitive to working people. My father joined the union, culinary, of course, and they sent him out to the old Sands Hotel. By the time the Sands was imploded, my dad was the longest-serving employee, and he'd been the maitre d' of the Copa Room for many, many, many years. We made a life for ourselves in the middle of the desert, but when we got here, we came on fumes. I mean, our car was repossessed the following month after we moved here, and then we got an apartment for a month. Then we got another apartment, the Boulevard Park Apartments, when there was no Boulevard Mall, so there was nothing across the street. But that's how we got our start.
Yeah, so you live with gratitude.
Every day.
Still remember your humble beginnings, and you've never lost sight of that. And I think that's what makes you so great in public service, is you know how to relate to everyone.
I feel very comfortable. Whether I always said whether I was in the back of the house, in the kitchen of the hotels, or whether I'm in the executive offices talking to the CEO, it's all the same to me. We're all people, and we're all working to make this community a great place to live.
Yeah, it takes everyone. It's not just one or two or a few people. It's the entire city coming together to make this a great place. So you served as the student body president at UNLV. Very big role at the time.
Did, yes.
When was this the time when an idea of public service came to your mind, or did it happen when you were at Valley High School, where you were class president?
Yeah, no, I was student body secretary.
Student body secretary.
Back in those days, women were not presidents; we were secretaries.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
And it wasn't, so I was student body secretary at Valley High School, and I always believed in public service. I knew this was going to be my life. So I started in high school, and then somewhere between high school and college, that was when the women's movement started, and it was, oh my goodness, we don't have to be secretaries. We could be, not that there's anything wrong with that, but you could be president as well. And I was student body president of UNLV and the school mascot, by the way. So I had a very eclectic public education
So you
career.
had that thought of public service
Always.
before, when you were 6? Or,
Well,
when
maybe
did it...
a little older, but I always knew I wanted to. For me, public service is my way of giving something back to this country for not only taking my family in and giving us a chance to survive, which we did and would not have without the United States, but gave us an opportunity to thrive. Worked very, very hard. In my family, and my family well, it didn't matter if you were pretty or popular. It mattered that I was both. I know.
Yes, of course you were.
Shush, please. But it mattered that you got good grades in school so you could make something of yourself. Right. I'm the first person in my family to go to college, and UNLV might as well have been Harvard for me. It just opened up an entire world for me that had not been available to my parents.
Yeah, and of course you went on from there. You served as a assemblywoman from 83 to 85. Then you served on the Nevada Board of Regents from 1990 through 98. And then you went to Congress. You served as the first congressional district representative from 99 to 2013, 7 terms. And, of course, your focus was health care, veterans, seniors, and consumer protection. Let me ask you this, Mayor Berkley. How has your experience in Congress shaped your approach today as mayor of Las Vegas?
That is a great question. Look, with every office I've held, and I love them all, I enjoyed them all. I thought I was making an impact on my community and my country. I acquired the experience I needed to what now I believe is a very comprehensive knowledge of the city of Las Vegas and the people that call Las Vegas home. And it's made all of my experiences, I think, has made me a very competent public servant, a hardworking one, competent. And look, I've been around for a long time. I understand this community very well. 4 generations of my family have called Las Vegas home.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah. And as a very large journalist in our community said, the day you announced that you were running for mayor, that was John Ralston,
yes,
who is the CEO of the Nevada Independent. Of course, he's been around forever. His first words out of his mouth the day you announced were, Shelley Berkley was born to be mayor of Las Vegas.
I know that was a very nice thing for him to say, but kind of true.
It is true. It really is true, because there's no one that has the background of Las Vegas that you do, that understands the city, that has the experience and the ability to do what you're doing right now. Okay, so let's look back now. You've been in office for 8 months,
yes,
believe it or not.
It is unbelievable. It's gone this year's just flown by.
Yeah, it has. And you took over. You walked into a very difficult situation. We were facing the Badlands crisis.
Yes.
Almost the day you walked in the door, you got it resolved, which was incredible.
I was done with that. Yeah,
well,
we needed to
we were
resolve
all
it.
done with it. We were bleeding to death.
Yep.
I mean, Las Vegas was paying interest alone.
$130,000 a day in interest.
I mean, crazy.
Insane.
And we kept digging a deeper hole and making bad decisions for a number of years. You came in, you cut it off quick, and we moved on. Okay, so as you look back at your top priorities when you took office, here we are 8 months later. How have we done with some of those priorities?
Look, I said during the campaign I would settle Badlands. We did that.
Yeah.
I said we would take care of Cashman Field. We did that. That we have some challenges right now, and a lot of it is dealing with our own success. We've grown very, very quickly. We have some challenges. I don't have to tell anybody here, and you can't fudge the numbers.
No.
But the reality is our economy is a little soft. International travelers are down, and we don't have as many heads and beds as we need.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have to work on that. My sales tax is down about 5%. The settlement with Badlands cost the city about $600 million, and PERS, which is the state retirement fund that all of the city employees belong to, assessed the city an extra $9 million that we were not anticipating. So you take a little out of 5% sales tax lower than you anticipated, and the PERS and the money we had to satisfy the judgments, the district court judgments and Supreme Court judgment that were against the city. All of that meant a little tight belting. We'll get through this. There's no doubt about it. Las Vegas is booming. But right now we're experiencing a little softening with the economy.
Well, you mentioned that we're kind of a little bit of a victim of our success because we've seen increased revenues in gaming every single year, and then all of a sudden we find ourselves 11% down, which is a substantial margin.
It is a big margin.
And there's a number of factors contributing to this. One of them is we've kind of built a reputation of being overpriced now, believe it or not.
And, Las Vegas was built on great value.
Yeah.
Inexpensive rooms, inexpensive food, inexpensive shows. Just gamble and have a good time.
Yeah.
And that's where we made our revenue. Things have changed a little with the more corporate mentality. But I would suggest, if anyone asks me in the industry, and I love the gaming industry, they better get back to basics and get heads in beds.
Yep.
Luckily we have have a wonderful convention authority that brings people to Las Vegas, and that's very important. But we need to get back to what we're known for.
Yeah.
And now, look, I don't think we'll ever get back to the 99-cent shrimp cocktail.
Doggone it. I love that.
I know, me too.
It was actually 50 cents at one time.
Oh, I'm sure
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I think I'd eat about 8 of them or something like that.
That was dinner.
It was a meal, a
Right.
$2 meal. Yeah.
Right. Or after midnight, with
Right.
99-cent breakfast and
Right.
all that. But, I'm not suggesting, you can never turn back the clock, but let's remember what made Las Vegas so appealing to people,
Yeah.
because we want them back.
Yeah.
And downtown is doing pretty well.
Yeah, you've got a couple good operators. You got Kenny Epstein. You got
love
Derek
'em.
Stevens.
Love 'em.
These guys think out of the
Jonathan
box.
Jostle.
Jonathan Jostle doing a great job.
At the plaza. Yeah.
And they're not the corporate bean counter type guys.
No.
And I use that term because
You're right.
what happened is when the big corporations came in and all of a sudden they would own 10 properties instead of just one single operator, they had to make a profit in every department.
Yes.
So all of a sudden they said, well, wait a minute, we need to make money on food.
Right.
And, of course, when you go back to the Bill Bennett days or the Benny Binion days or the Jackie Gaughan days or the Sam Boyd days, they said, look, we're going to get you in to our property and we're going to give you something to get here. And then when you come, we're going to get your money, one way or the other.
They did, but people felt good about
They
it.
They did. And, I talk to people that have a lot of money, that are very well-to-do, very successful people, but they tell me they go to some of these properties on the Strip, and I'm not trying to take any pokes at any of the major properties, but the bottom line is they'll go to these properties, and they'll sit down and they'll have a dinner for two, and maybe a bottle of wine, and it's going to cost them $600.
It's going to be pricey, but I think what people don't mind the spending the money on, because the food's great, you know. But they really mind that having to pay for parking when they're done.
Well, that's the worst part of everything, or the resort fees. Some operators. My father-in-law, Freddie Glussman, who operated Piero's for many years, and I was with him one night. I was having a cocktail. I was having one of his famous martinis, and I felt like after the first martini, my head was spinning all over the room. And I said, Freddie, how many shots do you put in a martini? And he said, 6.
Yeah.
If you know Freddie, that's how he'd respond.
I know Freddie.
And I said, 6 shots in one martini. But you know something? He gained a reputation. Now, he'll charge you $100 for pasta. But he would get a martini off for 6 shots of vodka or gin, whatever you're drinking.
It's pricey, Piero's. I never heard anyone walk away saying, I can't believe I paid that much for the meal, because it's fun and it's good quality.
And they gave him something.
They
gave him a big drink. And I think things.
And that's what's happening downtown.
Yeah.
I mean, great value. You can come to the Fremont Street and have the time of your life, and it's not going to kill you financially.
Yeah, and I think that's what people want. They just want to. They're going to gamble. Station Casinos is doing very well. If you walk into any of their properties, I did over the weekend, they're packed.
Yeah.
There's people all over the place. They're gambling. They're doing everything they need to do. I just think that like I said, we lost some of those geniuses that we had here, some of the visionaries, and we need to get back to that. Okay, but a lot of good things happening too.
Absolutely.
I know we talked about some of the challenges that we have right now, paying off the Badlands bill that you were left with, and also dealing with some of the downturn revenue numbers. But there's some really good things happening, and we're going through an urban transformation right now in downtown Las Vegas. We've got investments in healthcare, housing, innovation, and civic infrastructure. Our neighborhoods, we're growing right now. We're getting a lot more affordable housing online. What's your guiding vision as these projects take shape?
Look, we can't get housing up fast enough. As you know, we need affordable housing, workforce housing. We have lots of high-end housing, but I don't think a city council meeting goes by where we're not approving a number of either apartments or condos or housing divisions, and we need each and every one of them. And so that's very important, and that's what Cashman, the city ended up selling Cashman to Lennar, and they're going to workforce housing. What's workforce housing? It's not affordable housing, but it's for teachers and firefighters and metro officers. They make good livings, and yet they're being priced out of the housing market. So here you're going to have workforce housing, which means it's going to be affordable to families that are working and want a safe and clean and beautiful place to raise their families.
Yeah.
Very excited about it.
So that's going to be a mixed use project.
Yes.
The Cashman property.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think it'll revitalize that entire area.
Absolutely.
And it's so close to downtown.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite a thrill. And so I'm excited about that. Symphony Park, we have one parcel left for sale. And what's going on in Symphony Park blows your mind. Art District, I was just down there the other day for lunch at 1228 South Main.
That's the museum art project that's underway. Is that related to the Arts District? I'm talking.
Yeah.
inside
Park.
Symphony
yes.
Park. Right.
Oh, that's going to be such an art museum.
Yes.
Where we're partnered with Los Angeles Art Museum. It is gonna be an extraordinary addition to the amenities that we provide, not only tourists but locals as well.
Yeah.
Seeing the most incredible art that the world has to offer right here in our backyard.
And then you have the Cello Tower as well.
Oh, my goodness. It's going to be fabulous. High-end condos. I know a number of people that have deposits on the condos already, and that'll be an incredible addition. And there's a high-end apartment complex going up at Symphony Park as well by Southern Land, and that's going to be great. And again, the Arts District, the number of fabulous restaurants, affordable fabulous restaurants. I can't even begin to tell you, but you could eat for 2 weeks straight in downtown Main Street and never eat at the same restaurant.
Some wonderful places downtown. On Main Street, I mean, and of course, for all of us that lived here back in the early days,
right,
so to speak, Main Street, we used to have muffler shops and garages and little retail stores, but it was not the most thriving neighborhood.
No, it is a cool place to go on the weekend or all the time, but you see people walking around. It's like a actual downtown. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's just incredible, and I always have to pinch myself whenever I go have lunch or whatever at one of those properties. We're with the mayor of Las Vegas, Shelley Berkley. She is here with us live in the studio. That's right. She's down here with us at KMZQ Radio, and we're going to talk with her a little bit more about some big issues that are facing us. One of them is a good thing. It's the historic West Side. We're going to talk a little bit about immigration, animals, homelessness. We got a lot more on the plate here with the mayor. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
The Vegas Sports Report is brought to you by
UNLV.
Tickets, we get you there.
It was an eventful weekend for the Las Vegas Aces. Saturday, they suffered an historic 111-58 loss to the Minnesota Lynx at Michelob Ultra Arena. The 53-point beatdown's the worst home loss for any team in WNBA history, on national TV, no less. They didn't have time to ruminate as they were back on their home floor not 24 hours later, where they bounced back with a convincing 101-77 win over the Golden State Valkyries yesterday. In Southern California, we have a local Little League team playing in the Mountain Region Tournament. Summerlin South showed no mercy to Colorado yesterday in San Bernardino, erupting for 14 runs in the third inning to cruise to a 17-0 win in the opener of the double elimination tournament. The winner will advance to the Little League World Series next week in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Next up, Summerlin South will take on Utah tomorrow at 6.
The Vegas Sports Report is brought to you by
UNLV.
Tickets, we get you there.
Attorneys Bradley Schrager and Daniel Bravo of the law firm Bravo Schrager LLP provide the highest standard of work on Nevada appeals. Bravo Schrager lawyers have long experience in the appellate process. They've argued dozens of appeals and writs in the Nevada Supreme Court and Court of Appeals over many years, and they produce clear, compelling, and persuasive legal briefs in support of your case. Bravo Schrager LLP knows the complex appeal process in Nevada inside and out. If your case is going on appeal, contact Bravo Schrager LLP at 702-990 202-996-1724 or visit BravoSchrager.com. Bravo Schrager LLP knows the complex appeal process in Nevada inside and out. If your case is going on appeal, contact Bravo Schrager LLP at 702-996-1724 or visit BravoSchrager.com. Attorneys Bradley Schrager and Daniel Bravo of the law firm Bravo Schrager LLP provide the highest standard of work on Nevada appeals. Bravo Schrager LLP, your Nevada law firm for appeals.
Ready to transform your body, boost your energy, and feel your best? Welcome to OC Body Fit at Tivoli Village. We offer personalized training for all ages and fitness levels, perfect for beginners, injury recovery, or pushing toward your next big goal. Our expert trainers focus on you with customized plans and proper techniques. Enjoy small group classes that bring the motivation of a community with the personal attention you need. Don't wait. Start your journey to a stronger, healthier you today. Call or text 702-978-8263 to book your free consultation now. OC Body Fit, your ultimate fitness destination.
Hello, I'm Marla Letizia, founder of the Long Life Era community. If you are age 50 and over, you are entering what we call your Long Life Era. The next 50 years of your life could be the happiest years as you start up the U-curve of happiness. The Long Life mindset is a shift in how you see the world and yourself.
Start your journey today. Embrace the mindset. Go to longlifemindset.com. A jury has spoken. Deborah Fenton slipped and fell, and the Cosmopolitan was found negligent. Thanks to Patrick Kang and Ace Law Group, justice was delivered. If you've been hurt by someone else's negligence, don't face it alone. Call Ace Law Group. We don't back down. We win. We win big, like $15 million big. Call 702-357-9729. Ace Law Group.
Hi, this is Wade Alaroot. Are you elderly and homebound? Do you travel away from home often? Are you a business owner? No matter what your situation is, Rolladen Rolling Shutters will help you protect your family and your business. Rolladen Rolling Shutters protects you against home invasions and protects your business from burglary. Don't give criminals a fighting chance. Call now for your free estimate. Add value to your home or business. Call 702-878-1072, 878-1072, or go to RolladenLV.com.
Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
We're back with you here on the Middle Ground Radio Show, and we're talking to the mayor of Las Vegas. Yes, she's here with us in the studio, Mayor Shelley Berkley, and she, of course, governs the city of Las Vegas, which is distinct from Clark County and unincorporated areas like the Strip. But she does Las Vegas, which covers 140 square miles, including downtown Las Vegas, Symphony Park, and, of course, the historic West Side. And Russell Letizia, I think you had a question about the historic West Side.
Mayor Berkley, the 100 Plan is one of the most ambitious commitments the city has made to the historic West Side. What does real revitalization look like to you, and how do we ensure this effort doesn't just build buildings, but builds opportunity?
That's a great question. Russell, I've been hearing about revitalizing the historic West Side since I was a teenager, and it's yet to be realized. And so I made a commitment during the campaign. Let's stop talking about revitalizing and let's actually do it. And that is what I'm committed to do. Now, the 100 Plan was agreed to before I became mayor, but I am committed to carry it out. And that means more building, more apartments. But what they really want are businesses in the historic West Side that'll attract people to come, trying to make it user-friendly and being able to walk the neighborhoods and all the historic parts of the historic West Side. So I'm committed to work with, I would do it on my own, but I'm committed to work with everybody in West Las Vegas that calls West Las Vegas home, and work with the city councilwoman, Sandra Summers Armstrong, and help revitalize that part of the city. It is so close to downtown. I remember during the campaign, my sister came in to help help. And we walked out of church on Sunday. I think it was Victory Missionary Victory Baptist Church, or it could have been Fame or Second Baptist. I'm not quite sure what we walked out of that day. And we looked up, and there was Circa. And I said, "You see that?" My sister said, "Yes." I said, "That's downtown Las Vegas. It's a stone's throw away from West Las Vegas. The idea that we're not developing that area is unforgivable, and that's why we are now." So I'm very excited about the future of West Las Vegas. Prime land in a prime location.
Yes, and of course it speaks to equity, economic justice, and preserving Las Vegas's black history.
Absolutely. All of that is very, very important.
And we had Councilwoman Chandra Summers Armstrong on the show, and she's very proud of what's taking place out there.
Yes, and she should be. And she's very dedicated to making sure it happens.
So let's move on to health care. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the Las Vegas Medical District. But when you were in Congress, one of your proudest accomplishments while serving was you helped bring a new VA medical complex to Southern Nevada. What does this facility mean for veterans today?
Oh, it's huge, huge. And it started, and this is why I'm such a believer in advisory committees. So I had a Veterans Advisory Committee when I was in Congress. And during the meeting, a group of lady vets, and they were from Korea and World War II, came over to me and said they wanted a mammogram machine in the clinic. All we had was the Adelaide Del Guy VA clinic at the time. And if you really were sick, you had to go to Long Beach to get your care. But the problem is that, a lot of disabled veterans, a lot of older veterans having to go to Long Beach, they go without their families. They're all alone. They don't get sometimes, when you're in the hospital, you really need an advocate, and they didn't have one because their loved ones were here. And so they came over to me. They said they wanted a mammogram machine. So we were able to arrange for a mammogram machine in the clinic. And then when we were doing the ribbon cutting, someone came over to me and said, you have to think bigger. Think bigger? What? They said, you need a full-service VA hospital. And that was the beginning. It started with a mammogram machine for the lady vets. It ended up with an absolutely fabulous, state-of-the-art, billion-dollar VA hospital in North Las Vegas, which was part of my congressional district. So it's providing services that all of our vets had to leave town in order to get. Now they can stay home, be with their loved ones, and it is a fabulous facility.
Yes, and I've talked to a number of veterans over the years, and they've actually said how having that hospital here in Southern Nevada has helped save their lives in many cases where they would have to go to California or to Utah. Now they can get the services they need, the medical services, right here in Las Vegas.
Yes, they sure
can.
Okay,
let's fast forward to today. And, of course, the Kurt Kerkorian School of Medicine, it may carry the UNLV name, but its home is right in the heart of Las Vegas in Ward 1, Brian Knutson's ward, right in the medical district. What does its continued growth mean for the city's future, from healthcare and jobs to innovation and civic identity?
Well, I think the medical district is fundamental to our future. There's some things when people are relocating, what do they look at? They look at the school system, they look at the healthcare delivery system. And both of those, I would say, Southern Nevada is a little weak on, and so we need to work on that. But the medical district is a great step forward. And you're right, it is home to the Kerkorian School of Medicine. There's a number of medical practices and complexes that are being developed in that area. And it's the city councilman, Brian Knutson, is very committed to ensuring that we develop that area. And the important thing is to provide medical services, affordable, accessible medical services to the people that call Southern Nevada home.
Yeah, and of course the city invested in infrastructure, zoning, streetscaping, and long-term master planning. I wanted to ask you, because you've been a national leader in healthcare, and of course then you went on to lead Toro. How has all of this helped you with the medical district?
Yeah, well, I know. Look, I'm married to a doctor.
That's enough right there, right?
That's enough. And my stepdaughter is a family practice physician in town, so we do medicine in our family. Mm-hmm. But being the head of the largest medical school in Nevada for 9.5 years has given me an incredible bird's eye view of what the needs are. And look, we don't have a medical student shortage in the state of Nevada. UNR graduates 60 future doctors a year. Mm-hmm. UNLV's at 60, going up to 120 eventually. I think that's their goal. Roseman just opened up with their inaugural class with 64, mm-hmm. and Toro graduates 180 students. Mm-hmm. What we need are residency programs. After 4 years of med school, you're still not like a whole doctor. You got 3 more years of training called graduate medical education or residencies. We need more of them in the state. The more we have, the more our medical school graduates will have the opportunity to stay here. Right now, we're educating a whole lot of future doctors to practice someplace else, and that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. So if you could fast track one component at the LVMD, whether it's infrastructure, funding, or a new facility, what would that be and why?
Oh, all of the above. Also, we have a serious shortage of mental health providers, and mental health is a major issue in this day and age. Mm-hmm. I would love to have some high-rise mental health facilities mm-hmm.
that
people can access, because the need is definitely there.
Yeah, and of course we hear that most of the people, and we're going to get into homelessness in just a mm-hmm. minute or two, but most of the people that are suffering as homeless are suffering from mental illness.
A vast majority of those that are living on the streets have mental health challenges, addiction challenges, and that's the root. And we've got to take care of the root before we can provide housing. If somebody doesn't know what planet they're living on, how are you going to give them a place to live? They can't take care of themselves. Yeah. So this is a very complex issue that we have to address. It's not only a humanitarian issue. Human beings should not be living on the street. It's dangerous, it's dirty, it's unhealthy. There's nothing good about living on the streets.
Yeah.
But it's also for businesses. I mean, we're just talking about the art district and all the wonderful businesses that are springing up there. If their customers can't get in the door because there's a homeless person sleeping in the front of their store, that's not good. Some of my small businesses have their life savings tied up, and it's not fair to them that their ability to succeed is being hampered by homeless people living on the streets.
Yeah, and of course, we talked about our veterans, and a lot of those 20%. That are on the street are veterans.
Yes. Now, we are working really hard. I'm working with actually an old friend who is determined to bring a wraparound services homeless shelter for veterans. And that will be a tremendous help. Also, of course, the Campus for Hope. And I think there's a lot of misinformation about that. 900 beds, fully contained. People don't drop in and out. This is not a courtyard, low barrier situation. You have to qualify to get admission into the Campus of Hope. You will be there for up to a year. You'll have mental health therapy, addiction therapy, job training. And when you are finally, when you leave the complex after a year or so, you are going to be able to support yourself and your family. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Okay, so, and I'm going to take a break in just a minute, but I want to go back to the Arts District. You had an ordinance that was on the agenda. I believe it was the last meeting about the noise. Has that come up yet?
No, it's not, and we're getting a lot of pushback. I'm not in they wanted to do a study because now that the city wanted to do a study because now there's more and more people living in the arts district. So there was a question about the noise level, especially during the weekends. I can tell you that the pushback to not change anything with the noise ordinance is pretty strong, and I have no interest whatsoever in changing the noise ordinance.
Yeah, because they come to Las Vegas to have a good time. time. In a lot of these places, they're serving alcohol beverages, and people are there to party on a Friday and Saturday night. So I totally agree with your position on that. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back with the mayor of Las Vegas, and we're going to talk a little bit about immigration, which is one of our big problems right now that we're seeing here in Clark County and throughout the nation, and also animals. We've got some big issues going on with animals. We'll talk to the mayor about that and maybe a little more right after this break. Stay with us.
Yes, I'm stuck in the middle with you.
Attorneys Bradley Schrager and Daniel Bravo of the law firm Bravo Schrager LLP provide the highest standard of work on Nevada appeals. Bravo Schrager lawyers have long experience in the appellate process. They've argued dozens of appeals and writs in the Nevada Supreme Court and Court of Appeals over many years, and they produce clear, compelling, and persuasive legal briefs in support of your case. Bravo Schrager LLP knows the complex appeal process in Nevada inside and out. If your case is going on appeal, contact Bravo Schrager LLP at 702-996-1724 or visit bravoschrager.com. Bravo Schrager LLP knows the complex appeal process in Nevada inside and out. If your case is going on appeal, contact Bravo Schrager LLP at 702-996-1724 or visit bravoschrager.com. Attorneys Bradley Schrager and Daniel Bravo of the law firm Bravo Schrager LLP provide the highest standard of work on Nevada appeals. Bravo Schrager LLP, your Nevada law firm for appeals.
Hello, I'm Marla Letizia, founder of the Long Life Era community. If you are age 50 and over, you are entering what we call your long life era. The next 50 years of your life could be the happiest years as you start up the U-curve of happiness. The long life mindset is a shift in how you see the world and yourself.
Start your journey today. Embrace the mindset. Go to longlifemindset.com. A jury has spoken. Deborah Fenton slipped and fell, and the Cosmopolitan was found negligent. Thanks to Patrick Kang and Ace Law Group, justice was delivered. If you've been hurt by someone else's negligence, don't face it alone. Call Ace Law Group. We don't back down. We win. We win big, like $15 million big. Call 702-357-9729. Ace Law Group.
Ready to transform your body, boost your energy, and feel your best? Welcome to OC Body Fit at Tivoli Village. We offer personalized training for all ages and fitness levels, perfect for beginners, injury recovery, or pushing toward your next big goal. Our expert trainers focus on you with customized plans and proper techniques. Enjoy small group classes that bring the motivation of a community with the personal attention you need. Don't wait. Start your journey to a stronger, healthier you today. Call or text 702-978-8263 to book your free consultation now. OC Body Fit, your ultimate fitness destination.
KMCQ on-time traffic. It's powered by Meineke Car Care Centers. Right now, you can get an oil change for only $34.95. Meineke, doing car care right.
Couple of minor accidents on our Valley freeways, both on I-15 southbound. As you come in from North Las Vegas 15 southbound near Lake Mead Boulevard, just before Lake Mead Boulevard, a couple cars are off to the right shoulder, out of the way. And continuing on through the interchange, 15 southbound near Sahara, one car also off on the right shoulder, not holding you up any. We got a real problem in the downtown Las Vegas area, though. Southbound Las Vegas Boulevard near Wyoming, a car into a building. That building is the iconic bar, Dino's Bar and Lounge. That's going to be closed for some time. Big hole in the side of the building there, and a lot of congestion on the southbound side of the boulevard, Las Vegas Boulevard near Wyoming because of it. Clear sunny skies and warm temperatures. We're going to hit 106 this afternoon and stop right there. Winds will gust around 25 miles per hour. 88 degrees right now. I'm Mark Thomas with your on-time traffic, brought to you by Meineke Car Care Centers on AM 670 KMZQ.
Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
We're back with you here on the Middle Ground Radio Show, the fastest hour in radio. And we're here with you every day from 8 to 9 a.m. Of course, if you like podcasts, we're on all of them. So just pick your favorite one and listen to us 24/7. Or you can go to themiddlegroundshow.com and you can hear any of our shows. And then, of course, we're on social media where we get at least 10,000 views a week. So with all of these combinations, more and more people are listening to the Middle Ground Radio Show every day. We're with the mayor of Las Vegas. She is here in the studio with us. And I was almost going to say, Goodman because I said it for 25 years, but it's Shelley Berkley, our newest mayor. Of course, she's been there. She's an old veteran at this now. She's been there 8 months. But, municipal races are nonpartisan, and I think that's one of the reasons why things get done in the city of Las Vegas. There's no political bickering with the Republicans and the Democrats, and, we don't run into these log jams where we can't come up with solutions. And I think that's one of the reasons you're so effective in the city is it's not about politics. It's about it's
do
about
the job. Get the job done.
Get the job done. Right.
Yeah, I have to tell you, and I know you're very aware of this. One of the things that appealed to me the most about running for mayor is that it was nonpartisan because you just do the job. Yeah. That's all, I believe in, if you agree to do something, you're all in.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I'm looking for, and we're developing a very cohesive city council where we're all working, we're all on the same page. This doesn't mean we all vote in lockstep. Anyone can vote any way they want, but we're all committed to the future of this community and improving the lives of the people we represent.
And each of you care. You care about the city. You want to get things done. Each cares about their own ward, and each is dedicated to the job.
I agree.
Okay, so we're hearing a lot, and we're hearing growing fear right now from our immigrant communities here in Las Vegas, particularly concerns about ICE enforcement and deportation actions. How is the city balancing federal policy with the need to maintain public trust, and what's your message to Las Vegans who feel targeted or are afraid right now?
Look, I sympathize and understand the feeling. I mean, imagine if, and let me say this, nobody objects to deporting rapists and murderers and felons that commit heinous crimes. The concern is lack of due process for people that may be in, getting targeted when they have no priors. They're just hardworking people that came to this country, illegally perhaps, but have been working, have raised their children here, and frankly have no place to go back to. Those people are part of what Las Vegas is. I mean, they're a very strong workforce for us. What the latest controversy, and this was something that I did back the sheriff, and people don't realize this, but before any of this was front and center in the news, Metro had an agreement with ICE that if somebody was arrested and
that's
detained,
287G, right?
Yes. If somebody prior to that,
right.
If someone was arrested and they had illegal status, that we would hold them, the Metro would hold them for 48 hours. If ICE picked them up in the 48 hours, fine. If they didn't, then they were released. The difference now is that ICE has asked to sign an agreement with Metro and the marshals as well for 72 hours. And I agreed with that. Number one, if we didn't agree, we would be listed as a sanctuary city, and the ramifications of that could be god-awful for our city. My job is to protect everyone. And what is the issue? I mean, I don't want the National Guard deployed in downtown Las Vegas.
No.
I don't want the Marines deployed. I don't want ICE people on horseback, which is all happening in L.A.
Yes.
With masks.
Because they are a sanctuary
it's
city.
Scary.
Yes.
And Trump has a thing with Newsom anyway,
Well, of
but
course.
I don't want that.
Well,
and so we're making sure that if this is the cost, hold people for 72 hours. If ICE picks them up, great. Metro is doing nothing to assist. They are not doing immigration issues. Lord knows our Metropolitan Police Department has enough on its plate without doing the Fed's job.
Yeah.
But so I agreed with our sheriff that was something that we could sign. But remember, not only do I want to protect us from the National Guard coming in, from the Marines being deployed, but we have at least well over $100 million in federal grants that pay for a lot of our social programs. I don't want that money being pulled because a whole lot of people are going to be suffering.
Yeah.
I mean, Meals on Wheels,
Right.
after-school programs, summer school programs, AmeriCorps, all of this is paid by federal dollars. I want to keep those federal dollars flowing.
Absolutely, but we don't want to see them coming in and just going into broad acres.
No.
And deporting, the guests that are visiting there. We want them to go after the violent offenders.
Yes.
I don't think anybody disagrees
No
with
one
that.
disagrees, but this is not exactly what's going on, and it's hurting people, and it's hurting our city. I mean, we need these people to
No
be
question.
working.
I mean, we have them working in our casinos.
Yes.
We have them on the job sites, building Las Vegas. So, Trump needs to calm down a little bit and
at least provide due process so that you get up in front of a judge. These are my papers. This is legal. I
can't disagree with you.
I know it.
It's just a horrible situation, and I feel so bad for some of our members of the immigrant community here in Las Vegas.
It's very frightening.
Very frightening.
Very
Okay,
frightening.
we got about 2 minutes, and I want to cover
Animals.
Animals. Okay, now. A lot of people are struggling right now. We've got a lot of unemployment. We've got housing insecurity. And, of course, our animals suffer as well. Yeah. Shelters are overcrowded. More residents are abandoning pets that they can no longer afford to take care of. What is the city doing to support animal welfare right now, and how can we help families keep their pets during these hard times?
Look, this is a challenge, and we're dealing with very bad human behavior, no matter what the reason. And I know a lot of people are struggling and can't afford their pets, but we have pet abandonment, neglect, abuse, and there's one major shelter that the county, the city, and North Las Vegas all share. It's the Animal Foundation, and we're just about to sign an agreement. We heard what the animal activists said about a no-kill shelter, where all the municipalities have stepped up and said, okay, no-kill shelter, it's going to cost more money, but that's what our citizens wanted. We're doing that. But in addition to that, since I got in, I created a mayor's advisory committee, brought in members from the city, North Las Vegas, members from the county, members from Henderson, electeds, so that we're all sitting there and meeting with the animal shelters. This is Heaven Can Wait, the Nevada ASPCA, Heaven Can Wait, Hearts Alive. They do wonderful work. What we are trying to do, I gave $25,000 for spaying and neutering 300 cats. Another $25,000 the city helped with training veterans to do spaying and neutering easier and more efficiently, so less pain for the pets. That's important. I got a donor to help out in the courtyard to provide spaying and neutering for the homeless pets that are at the courtyard. So we're doing all of that. I found another donor that wants to add more cooling stations for the pets at different parks. That's incredible. And then I think in October we're going to do a pet adoption on the new plaza, at City Hall Plaza. I want to be able to have as many pets or as many animals adopted, and we'll take care of the spaying and the cost of that, and the vaccinations and the microchipping. But we've got to relieve the pressure at the Animal Foundation because it's so terribly overcrowded.
Okay, so you covered a lot there. You're doing a lot. More to be done. Real quickly, I got about 10 seconds. These are quick one-question answers. This is our lightning round.
Or one-answer questions.
I know we got to go pretty quick. So what gives you hope for Vegas?
Oh, my God. Our past and our present gives me hope for our future.
There you go.
We have next 10 years are going to be explosive in the city, no doubt about it.
Okay, if not mayor, your dream gig.
My dream gig, being Tom Letizia on the air for the middle ground.
Well, that's it. That's we got to close it on that note. It couldn't get better. Mayor Berkley, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. Thanks, Russell.
Guest today, Mayor Shelley Berkley. Will be back with you tomorrow here on the Middle Ground.